Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of College and Career Pathways, where every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. we provide you with information on various colleges and universities, financial aid resources, technical schools, training programs, skilled trade professions, employment opportunities, career exploration, and career readiness skills, all designed to help you make the best career decisions possible. I'm Tony Cureton, your host, and today we are with Oakland Community College. We're so happy to have you. Chris, Natalia, thank you for joining us and being here today. The floor is yours. You can go ahead and get started.
Thank you, Tony, for having us. It's so good to see you again. It's been a few years, but I'm happy to be helping the students again, and that's what we do at OCC, and that's what I've done for the last almost 10 years of my life. So I'd like to introduce myself, and then Natalia can introduce herself. My name is Chris Muller. I am one of the admission coordinators at Oakland Community College, one of three coordinators. I cover the Highland Lakes campus, which is in Waterford. It is our campus that houses our nursing, our dental hygiene, and most of our medical pathways that we have along with our Southfield location. I've been with OCC about 3 years. Before that, I worked at Walsh College, which is over in Troy. And then I met Tony through when I worked for Specs Howard School of Media Arts, which is now with Lawrence Tech now. They have closed up their shop and have moved in with Lawrence Technical University over in Southfield to offer classes. So I used to do this for Specs Howard, but I'm very, very happy to be part of OCC to bring you opportunities and information for programs on our campus and online programs. So there's a ton of opportunity for you. I'm going to be sharing a PowerPoint and then taking any questions just to give you as much information as you can as you graduate and get into, another, if you want to continue your education with a certificate or a 2-year degree at OCC. So I'll have Natalia introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Natalia, and I'm an international student at OCC. I'm from Brazil, and this is my first time going to college. So I'm already 29 years, but but I believe that it's never too late to go to college. And yeah, and I'm also a student recruiter at OCC, which gives me a lot of opportunities and a scholarship as well. So I'll be with Chris and our team to help everyone that needs some assistance.
Awesome. I'm going to bring up the PowerPoint, so hopefully everyone can see my PowerPoint right now.
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Okay, so and we'll talk about Natalia, what she, her student recruiter, and about scholarship and financial aid opportunities a little bit in this PowerPoint. But this PowerPoint, why OCC? Why community college after your high school transition? And I always share a personal story when it comes to community college. I grew up in Detroit. I grew up at 8 Mile and Gratiot. I attended Denby High School. I would not be the person I am today without that. Was I a good student in high school? Absolutely not. I was smart, but they always said I had potential. So I think I'm 53 now and my potential is finally coming out. But back in high school, it was just, I had to graduate with a 1.2 GPA. I went to summer school, night school, day school, whatever school, just to graduate. And I didn't give up, and I graduated, and I was so happy. The last of 4 kids in my family, my brother dropped out of Denby, my sister graduated from Denby, and then I did. And I went to community college. I went to Specs Howard School of Media Arts, but I also went to community college. And I was the first person in my family to go to college. My mom, my dad did not go to college. My grandma and grandpa, I mean, you can probably go back a few generations, and none of them went to college. And I wanted to prove that I was smart, not my GPA didn't show it, but I knew deep inside, I just needed to find my passion. And I think it has a lot to do with it. When you find your passion, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like school because you're loving it. So hopefully we can share some of that today, and you could find your passion when we share the different pathways that people have been coming to OCC for many, many years to find what they love and to go on from there. So why OCC? And we are here to help. There we go. So admission coordinators, we are in Oakland County. So we kind of split up Oakland County because it's a pretty big county to handle. I live in Macomb County, but I drive to Oakland County to my campus, which is in Waterford at the Highland Lakes campus. There's my information. I always tell people when we give presentations, take a screenshot, take a picture of this, because now you can put a name to a face if you need help with anything of the pre-registration steps, anything that you need as your journey is coming to OCC. So Misty Pranga covers our Auburn Hills campus. So we're going to talk about the campuses in just a couple minutes, but Auburn Hills is our largest campus and Misty covers it. It's an awesome, really nice campus that has a bunch of different pathways, whether it be police and fire or welding or automotive. And we'll talk about those in a minute. Keith is the veteran of our group. He's been with OCC for about 20 years. And he gets 3 campuses right now because he's so special. He gets Royal Oak, Southfield, and Orchard Ridge. And we'll go over the different programs that are offered at those 3 campuses too. But now that you've seen the faces and you've got contact information, we want you to use that because that's what our job is to help and to help you through the process. And then we know that COVID has made things a little crazier than normal. So we're here definitely to lend a hand to you guys. Let me go backwards. There we go. So we talk about the campuses. Now we do have virtual tours right now. We were going to start giving in-person tours again because we are on campus for class and we're so happy about that. First time in a year and a half. But we do have virtual tours. So that bit.ly link right there will take you to the different virtual campus tours. So not as fun as the in-person tours because you get to walk around, but at least it gives you an idea of where the campus is, what the campus offers, and you can watch some videos when it comes to seeing the different things that are at each campus, because each campus is unique in its own way. They're not all set out the same. It's not like some cookie cutter campus. They're very, very different. Some large, some small, get a lot of walking at some and some not so much. But I'm going to start with the Highland Lakes campus because it is my campus. So as I mentioned, nursing, dental hygiene, medical assisting, social work, sign language interpreting, which is huge right now. So in the last 2 years, watching any press conference, there's always a signer there. So that's a huge, huge program for us right now. We're a small campus. We're an easily walkable campus. It's pretty. I love it out here. It is an hour away from my house, but it's so worth driving out here to meet the students and to walk the campus. We do have a full gym here, full workout room, and that's part of your tuition that you can use those facilities. There's also the same at Auburn Hills. Those are the 2 campuses that have gyms and workout areas. So again, Highland Lakes, if you really want to get into that nursing, our nursing program is amazing. And our dental hygiene is also a fantastic program. So when you get into those programs, if you are going to be a nurse, you have to come to Highland Lakes to take those classes. And we'll talk about online classes and everything else in a few minutes. So the Southfield campus. So Southfield is also our medical campus. So if you wanted to take sonography or ultrasound, respiratory therapy, vet tech program, those are at our Southfield campus. A nice, small, again, easily walkable campus. The labs are fantastic there. They have a lot of connections with the local hospitals. So again, we're big on healthcare. Our programs are very, very highly rated, and we want to get you in those programs and get working in the field. Those are the 2 campuses that you would attend. I'm going to have Natalia talk about her favorite campus. Go ahead, Natalia.
All right, I have 2 favorite campus,
Cool.
Which is now it's being Orchard Ridge campus, which is where I'm taking my culinary classes. And the kitchen over there, it's amazing. It was my first time getting into like a professional kitchen. So they have everything that you need. It's a really, really good time having classes in there. And so Orchard Ridge has also not only culinary arts, but has also hotel management, restaurant management, graphic design, interior design. It's an awesome campus. It's pretty big, but you can find like your class, you can find everything very easy. And also Royal Oak campus, I also took classes there. It's in downtown Royal Oak, which is amazing as well. You have many restaurants around there. I would say it's smaller and it's easier to walk over there, but it's also pretty cool. And there are programs like general studies, business, photography, music, so many options right in downtown, downtown Royal Oak.
Yep, and they do have, like Natalia said, they have the theater there. Pre-COVID, we had a lot of plays and a lot of different events going on there. We hope to get back to that again. Orchard Ridge also has a theater, and we do have a lot of fine arts to choose from, music and dance and all kind of cool things to do at those campuses. The last campus is Auburn Hills. So like I mentioned before, if you want to get into the skilled trade, with skilled trade right now in Michigan is so hot, they need people to work these jobs as welding and machinists and HVAC and just different CAD. So there's so many different things you could do in the skilled trades, and they pay so well right now. We have a lot of students that are working in the field, making anywhere from $20 to $30 and going for their degree. We have a lot of connections with local businesses. Of course, in Auburn Hills is where the campus is. So GM and just all the different companies around there. So if you want to get into skilled trades, perfect campus to do it. The other big program we have is police, fire, EMS, EMT. If you want to get into that field, we have a full training center called CREST, at CREST, like the toothpaste. But you will be able to train, canine training. They have all kind of different evidence tech training there. They bring in police departments from all over the country that will come to our Auburn Hills campus to train. It's like a little city within the campus. There's houses that you train, like for active shooter drills or hostage situations. So if you are really interested in that field, police, fire, EMS, 911, please come to our campus and definitely get a tour when we are going to share those tours, and it will be on our website. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll have those in-person tours. But again, 5 campuses all throughout Oakland County. No matter where you go in Oakland County, you can find a campus, which I think is pretty cool. So, we're talking about pathways. This is what this is all about, is finding your passion and finding a pathway. Well, we have almost 100 different programs, and we break it out into 5 different pathways. And I will be sharing some later on. I'll send stuff to Tony Cureton with some booklets on, so you guys can take a look through it. We're just printing those up right now, so I'll get some e-versions of it and some hard copies to you guys too. So arts and communications, huge right now. Cinematic arts, fine arts, interior design. There's just so much talent out there. There's just a ton of talent, and our instructors have either worked in the field or currently work in that field, and they help you just really get into whether you want to be behind the camera, if you want to be a performer, if you want to be an interior designer, like Natalia said, over at our Orchard Ridge campus, music and a whole lot more. So that's the art and communication pathway. Human services, and I just talked about criminal justice. Culinary arts is what Natalia's taking over there. Firefighter technology, mental health, social work, those are all under the human services tab. Health services, radiological tech, surgical tech, those 2 are at Southfield. Dental hygiene and nursing are again at our Waterford campus. Business management and IT, probably one of the most popular pathways right now with accounting. We have a lot of business students that want to be entrepreneurs, and we're all for that. CIS, computer information systems, paralegal, If you want that side of it and you want that business aspect, and even if you wanted to transfer to a business school like Wayne State, the Mike Ilitch School of Business or Walsh College, if you want to be an accountant or you want to get into marketing, and that's what I'm going for my degree right now is a marketing degree. Great pathways for that. And then I always call this one the EMIT, E-M-I-T, engineering, manufacturing, industrial technology. I call this pathway that I could never, ever do. So because I don't have the hands for automobile servicing or collision auto repair, robotics, welding, but that is huge right now. We just added a new program that's not on here. It's called It's called Heavy Equipment Repair. So again, another new program. So it's always changing. The world changes and we have to change our programs along with that. So by adding programs and taking out programs that are maybe, not so relevant anymore, we stay on top of things. So there's a pathway for you. I know there is. So we have five different pathways to go through. Now, so you guys are virtual. My virtual academy, you guys are all virtual when it comes to learning. Well, OCC has right now 10 different all fully online programs that you can get without leaving your living room or your bedroom or wherever you're doing your work from. So these are just 6 of them. I haven't updated yet, but that last tab on there goes to all, and it's at our website. If you went to our website and just look for online programs, but we have 10 of them right now and hopefully get up to about 16 or 17 within the next year or 2. So we're changing as the world changes. I'm an online student at my university, and when we put these programs out, the students were just so excited because of the unknown with the virus and everything else going on. Having those online programs are key to a successful student. So you can get an associate in general studies, associate in arts, science, business, as you see there, criminal justice, technology, sciences, and there's a few more. Now, Natalia, let me just ask you, what I didn't ask you earlier, what program are you going for? What degree?
It's business management, which is like hospitality. So that's why I have to take the culinary classes.
Now you've taken online and in-person classes at OCC, correct?
Yes.
Yep. How did you like the online classes?
I personally love. In the beginning, I thought it was I thought I wouldn't get it, like it would be too hard, but then once you get into the routine, to me it's like I work way better than in person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like the online method, and you can get a lot of information as well, not only in person.
Yep, I agree. And I was talking to Tony earlier about how OCC has really upped our game when it comes to online choices. I've been here 3 years, and it's like a whole nother world with what we're doing online right now. And I'm so happy because we understand that transportation can be issues for people, that weather in Michigan is an issue for people to get somewhere from point A to point B. So having that online opportunity just opens up so many more doors. And that gets me excited because that's what it's all about. I want to open doors to everybody. And I think it's possible. And I think the state of Michigan, with all the different programs they're doing in conjunction with community college and different scholarships and things, I think they realize it too. So having that online option is phenomenal. And you, as online students, you're already ahead of us of some of the students that have never taken an online course before. So we would love to have you as an online or an in-person student at our campus too. So we'll go to the next one. So when people talk about community college, it used to have this stigma associated to it. When I was going to community college, they called it 12 Mile High at Macomb because they said it's like high school, it was over in Warren on 12 Mile, and it had like, well, you're not going to Michigan State, you're not going to Central, you're going to community college. It had a very negative, feel to it. Not anymore. As people talk about community college, The First Lady, Jill Biden, is a community college instructor. She's a professor at a community college. So that's huge for us being as a community college. And actually, she's going to be at Royal Oak Friday to talk, to speak to students. So we're very excited that she picked OCC, our Royal Oak campus, to visit. So we're very excited about that. So community college does not have the negative connotation that people had in the past. It's great for everybody, whether you're going to come for a certificate, which is you can get in a year or less at some of the programs, or a 2-year degree that you're going to go over to a 4-year university, transfer to a school. So come to OCC, and I'm going to show you some money figures up here in just a minute, why it makes sense. But it makes sense for a lot of reasons. But if you look where it says SAT and it has a red line through it, we don't look at SAT scores. You come into OCC, you don't need a certain SAT score. We know a lot of colleges do, and some are getting away from that. I'm not a big fan of standardized testing because I took the SATs and ACTs, and I knew I was a lot smarter than what my grades were. But we do look at SATs to place you into math or English, but it's not necessary. You can take a placement test to do that. So very simple to get into OCC. Another thing is too, we don't look at your high school score. We don't look at your GPA or anything else. It's a clean slate when you come to OCC. As long as you have that diploma, you're ready to go, then you're going to be a student, and you finish your pre-registration steps, you do your orientation and those things, you can be very successful at a community college, whether it be OCC or Wayne County or Macomb or any other Mott or any other college out there. So let me ask Natalia, you said this was your first time going to college. Why did you pick a community college?
Well, I picked a community college because I think it's more accessible, and has the same, I would say, the same way as going to a university, and I'm spending less. So, and it doesn't mean it's like a worse way to learn whatever you're going to. It means like you're getting the same quality, but you're paying less.
Exactly. And I'm going to show that. Yeah, I'm going to show that graphic in just a minute too, that will kind of prove that point when it comes to, and I'll be in a couple slides, but we'll talk about that, of the affordability of it. So, but I want to talk about student resources and services, and I'm going to have Natalia talk a little bit about it also. These are resources and services that are free to you as a community college, as an OCC student, and we want you to take advantage of those. The first one that you're going to come in contact with, because you have to talk to a counselor before registering for a class, is our counseling department. So when you talk to a counselor, you will sit with them either on Zoom, or we're doing Zoom and phone appointments right now, and you will go over which program you're interested in, and they will map out what classes you will need to take in your journey here at OCC. So the counselors are very hands-on. They want to help you. They want to keep you on track, so you're not taking classes that aren't going to transfer or be part of your degree. And I did that when I was in community college. I didn't talk to a counselor. I thought I was smarter than them. I figured I could just pick classes and take them because they sounded fun, not knowing that I was taking classes that weren't going to transfer. And I won't even tell you how much money I wasted. I won't call it a waste. I hate that word, but how much money I unnecessarily spent when it came to taking classes that had nothing to do with I was transferring. So talking to a counselor is mandatory. We're one of the few community colleges that make it mandatory, but I think it's very, very important to make that connection with the counselor, not only for classes, but Natalia, about your counseling experience. What did they help you with?
Yeah, I would say, I was just gonna say that they are, to me, they're like God, because I'm not the type of person that like math. So I asked the counselor, I was like, what can I do instead of like taking math classes? And they knew, the counselor that I talked to, she knew all the options, that it would be the same thing as taking math class. So yeah, I think they're awesome. They really know, they're there to tell you what's the best way to go and be successful in your program. So it's always worth it to ask anything that you would like to ask. They'll be there. They have a lot of experience. So yeah, instead of taking math class, I took biology class, which
Yeah,
I
all right.
loved.
So yeah, so right there, just talking to that counselor, because just having those options. We also recommend checking in with your counselor at least once a semester to make sure that you are on the right track. Or if you change your mind, like say you're going in for nursing, you're like, oh my God, why did I do that? I want to be a welder. That's extreme. But if you want, if you change your mind, they're there to help you make that change. And I deal with a lot of students that does happen to. So call your counselor, they can make that change for you. And counselors also can talk to you about personal things. They are licensed counselors. They keep everything between them. If you're struggling in life or just struggling, in everyday life, or COVID is getting you down or anything else, they're there to be a resource for you. So counselors are amazing. The Academic Support Center. So we really want you, it says tutoring and more underneath there. Free tutoring. I'll say that again, free tutoring, math tutoring, English tutoring. There's so many different subjects that they can tutor you for free. So take advantage. If you feel like you are struggling, reach out to the Academic Support Center. They are all virtual right now. And so hopefully in the next year or less, we can get back to the, pre-COVID of being on campus and helping out, but they are still rolling along with tutoring, study skill seminars. There's so much more. If you go to oaklandcc.edu, you can look at those different options that they have. But always make sure that you take advantage of the free support that we have when it comes to tutoring. Disability services. So access. Every campus has an access department. So if you have a 504 or an IEP and you need, and that is if you need accommodations, maybe you're on the spectrum, or you have an anxiety disorder or a physical ailment or disorder, they can help you. It's always good to match counseling with disability services. So when you meet with the counselor, say, you know what, I do have a note from my doctor, I do have a medical diagnosis that I have autism, and what kind of help can I get, what kind of accommodations, whether it be longer test taking times or different things that they offer. So our access is there for you to help you, so there's no barriers for you to be successful, and they've helped thousands of students through the years, and they're awesome. Internships and co-ops, those are available. You'd have to check with that department. If you are in a field that has an internship or a co-op program, that's a great way to do it. If you can get a paid internship or a paid co-op while you're going to school, if you're especially the skilled trades and business, definitely look into that, because if you can do that, that's one step ahead of everybody else if you can get into an internship or a co-op. Our library services. Please take advantage of our libraries. You will need them when it comes to writing papers. If you just need any help doing that, or you need to look up something, the databases that they have are amazing. They have a 24/7 librarian, so 24 hours, 7 days a week. If you get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, I just have to finish this paper, they will be there for you by using their 24/7. But please visit our libraries. All 5 of them are open right now. And our students, every time I'm on campus right now at Highland Lakes, I go past the library, and it's so good after a year and a half to see them in there and interacting with the librarians and just, having that extra help. So definitely take advantage. Veteran benefits. If you are a spouse or a dependent, if mom or dad is a veteran, we want to make sure that you get those veteran benefits that are, rightfully yours. So you can work with our veterans department. I can get you in touch with them if mom or dad was in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. We appreciate their service for one, but we also want you to get the benefits that you deserve as a spouse or as a dependent of a veteran. So our fall options. Now, we are so excited to be back on campus because it's been a long year and a half, but we are providing online as well as in-person classes. So there's a little bit for everybody, and it's gone extremely well. I'm so proud to say that I work at OCC, and our chancellor and faculty have made this transition and added classes. It's just been amazing what they've done in a short period of time. But I do want Natalia just to go over the two different ways of online, and you are online learners, so this may be familiar to you. So go ahead, Natalia.
Yeah. There's the online, which is asynchronous. You don't have to be logged in at a certain time to attend class. So it's basically 24/7. You work on your own pace, but you gotta have everything done by the date that the teacher said for the assignments or homework, but you work on your own pace. So if you have to work, if you have to take care of kids, this might be a good option to take because you do on your time. It's very flexible. There's the synchronous, which is it's online, but with a certain time. So for example, if you're taking business class and you have to meet up with the teacher and your classmates at a certain time. So the teacher will tell you every day, a certain date, a certain time, and you logged in and you'll have this online class as if you're like in person as well. There's the hybrid, which is face-to-face and online work, which it depends on what you're taking. So you can have this flexibility of having face-to-face, see some students in person, have this interaction, and also doing online, which you can work on your own pace, and in person, which is 100% in person, which what I'm doing now, that is a culinary class, and you have to be there at a certain time, and yeah, you'll be interacting with the teacher and students every time that you have to go.
So as you see, there's a little bit of everything, whatever works for your schedule. And we love having that flexibility. We love having those options. And I know the students really appreciate the options, because we have students anywhere from 18 years old up to 60. I talked to a 65-year-old gentleman the other day who was coming back to school. So it really is going to depend on your schedule, depend on transportation, just really depend on whether you work or you don't work. So at least the opportunities and the options are there. And we probably see this format going forward as the new normal. And Tony and I were talking about that. And I love it. I think it's great. I think it just opens up so many more doors for students, especially outside of Oakland County, because we do get a lot of students from Detroit. We are part of the Detroit Promise, which I'm part of now, and Pontiac Promise. So there's, we would love to see outside of Oakland County students come from Wayne County and Livingston and Macomb. If maybe WC3 doesn't have the classes that you want or doesn't fit in. So I'd love to grow that even more. And hopefully with all these different options now that we have, we can have a lot more students from outside of Oakland County. So we talked earlier about affordability. We talked of the reasons why you would come to community college. So if you look at this graphic, and this blows me away every time I look at it. So they didn't update this screen, but that's okay. So we are $99 a credit. So these numbers are a little bit off. In Oakland, it actually is now $484 per credit hour. We went up $1. They went up almost $40. So big difference for the same classes. So if you take 30 credits, and it's part of the Michigan Transfer Agreement, which MTA, I want you to get used to that, of hearing that, because every community college has the Michigan Transfer Agreement. They are 30 credits of core college courses, such as math and English and science, that you can transfer to any school in Michigan. Whether if you want to go to Eastern, you want to go to Wayne State, you can take these 30 credits and take them anywhere. I did it back in the day, and I transferred my credits. It wasn't called the Michigan Transfer Agreement, but I used those credits anyway. But if you look at that graphic, you can see the difference of basically $3,000 for 30 credits. This is in district, so it's skewed a little bit. Compared to 30 hours over at OU, which is over $14,000 for the same credit classes. Like Natalia was saying earlier, you're getting the same credit for it. Our instructors, a lot of our instructors work at four-year universities. We have OU professors that come and teach at OCC and vice versa. So you are getting the same math class that you're going to take at OU at OCC is a big dollar difference. Now, if you come to OCC from outside of our county, you're paying $188 per credit hour. Still a lot less than $484. But we would really love you to get, funding, get scholarships and other funding to offset, so you wouldn't have to pay for community college. And that's our thing. We don't want you to be in debt. We want you debt free as much as a person can be when it comes to your education. Because the last thing you want is to get that degree and you've got $100,000 that you're going to have to pay back. So, and I'll talk about FAFSA and your, financial aid and getting that done in just a minute. But those are the numbers right there. So that right to me says community college all the way, and then go to OU for your last 2 years, but you're going to be in a better financial situation by doing that. So with financial aid, we want you to get, if you haven't completed your FAFSA, actually, if you're a senior in school this year, anytime after October 1st, you can do your FAFSA. Your FAFSA is at MI, it's not at MI student, it's a student, MI student.gov, I think is it's losing my head right now, but studentaid.gov, I'm sorry, studentaid.gov when it comes to FAFSA. Please complete your FAFSA because you will not be eligible for scholarships or any other free money if you do not have a completed FAFSA. It's pretty simple. You just sit with mom or dad or whoever you're living with, that if you're doing their taxes, if you're if you're a dependent or a dependent student on them, you would sit and complete your FAFSA. There's so much money out there through Michigan TIP, through Detroit Promise, through Pell Grants. There's a ton of money that doesn't get used, but you have to complete your FAFSA. So definitely look into that. We do have scholarships at OCC. You are eligible for a scholarship after taking 6 credits, so basically 2 classes. And we have over $240,000 in scholarships that we give out through our foundation, which is basically people that have given back to the college, that have set up scholarships in the name of maybe a student or a parent or somebody, or they just want to give back to an institution that has given so much to them. So I know Natalia has taken advantage. I think she's taken advantage of our scholarships, if I'm not mistaken. Is that true?
Yes.
Good. And it's very simple. You filled out what, one form?
Just one. Actually, sorry. I'm taking advantage of a scholarship, but as being a student recruiter.
Got you. So
Yeah.
So that is true. But we are going to have Natalia fill out that scholarship form to see what other funding she can get from OCC. And like Natalia said, she is getting a scholarship for being a student recruiter, for being with me today and going with the admission coordinators to different events. She does get $500 per semester. So that's up to maybe $1,500 if she does summer. And that's $1,500 for giving 50 hours of service each semester. We were always looking for new student recruiters. If you come to OCC and you want to be a student recruiter, just send me an email or give me a phone call, and I'd love to tell you more about it. But it's a great way to network. It's a great way to get to know people, to really your communication skills, and to have a lot of fun, because we are a fun group. And it is a great way for a student to get some extra money out there too. But there is state and federal grants. So please take advantage of those programs. Like I said, either Michigan TIP or Pell Grants or anything else that you can get free money. I know a lot of employers, if you are working, check into to see if they offer paying for school. Amazon, Walmart, they want to pay for school. They want you to, better yourself and to get more education. If they're willing to pay for it, whether it be reimbursement or just, pay. I know Amazon and Google and all of them. It's amazing what's happening right now in the field of education when it comes to getting your degree. The state of Michigan right now has 2 programs, Future for Frontliners, which is about to end, and Michigan Reconnect, where they're paying for people to get their degree, for people that don't have a degree, maybe have started at one time, but to finish their degree. And I can see more of those programs coming out, especially with the current president and his wife, and how, they're behind, education. So it feels great for us to have, a president that's willing to do that and really to help everybody out. So we do have transfer agreements, like I mentioned, over 250 different transfer opportunities to go to 4-year schools. So if you wanted to do that 2-year and then go on to get your 4-year degree, we have the transfer agreements to help you do that. And if you look up here in the corner, the average debt that a student has is almost $30,000. I know students that have over $100,000, $200,000. Unfortunately, I had to take loans out, wasn't happy about it, but I had to. So I am a little bit of my student debt. My wife was, but if you can help it, please don't get into, student debt if you can help it, but sometimes it's necessary, and we get that. The checklist: complete your FAFSA, research university cost, look at the different costs at different programs, because it varies. Look for scholarship money. Check out different Google's your friends. Just Google scholarships. Whoops, sorry, my phone just, I said Google and it started talking to me. But I hate when I do that. But yeah, go ahead and use Google to look for scholarships that are out there. There's a ton of it out there. Maximize your grant funds. Talk to your counselor, or talk to Ms. Kirtan, or whoever is part of your program, to get you to that next level if you need help with completing your FAFSA. But again, so important to get that completed. Whoops. And one thing, student life. Okay, we know, if you talk to someone that goes to Wayne State, they're in a fraternity or sorority, or you talk to different people at 4-year schools that are on these really cool clubs and everything. Well, we have them too. Just because we're a community college doesn't mean that we don't have a student life, and we do. It's very, very vibrant at some of our campuses. Auburn Hills probably has the biggest student life population there, and those are just some of the different clubs that you could join. And they're an amazing group of people, because they're people that are interested in the same things that you are. So it can help you become a better student. You have support from your fellow, students that are in those clubs with you. And you have a common goal. You have a common bond. So I find that a lot with a lot of those clubs. Spectrum, which is our LGBTQ community, our Black Student Union, our Muslim Student Association, Student Government International. They all have that common bond, and it makes things so much easier when you are a student to have that support. And there's been studies show that students that are involved in student life, or different groups or clubs, have better grades, tend to do better. And it makes a lot of sense, because you're really making more of an investment in your future when it comes to being involved in student life. And they are being very active, even through COVID, on social media, a ton of different virtual events that they're doing. Natalia, you part of any student life organization? I can't remember.
I am not.
Well, we will give her one. Next time we talk, Natalia will be part of one of these clubs. We can do it. So it is worth getting involved. And again, it depends on which campus that you're at. Like if you OCC Productions is over at our Orchard Ridge campus. I know the Black Student Union is very big at our Auburn Hills campus. Spectrum, the LGBTQ are very active here at the Highland Lakes campus, nursing and dental hygiene, of course. So there's something for everyone out there. So, get involved if you can. We'd love to have you as part of the student life. And I think that that is the end of that PowerPoint. So I know there's a lot of information, and I know Ms. Kierden is recording this session. So I don't know if you send it out and you watch it at your leisure, but we would love to, take you on a tour of one of the campuses. We would love to give you more information. That's our job. That's, Natalia's a student, but she's also a student recruiter, like I said, and she's more than willing to help or answer questions. If you're interested in culinary, I'm into marketing. I'm going for my degree in marketing. So if you have any questions regarding that program, we would love to help you. But that's what it's all about. It's making those connections and being confident in your choices. And don't let things get in your way. And I say this at every presentation when I used to do them for Ms. Kierden in person. Don't listen to the outside noise. Don't listen to the people that say you can't do this, because that was told to me a million times growing up. Chris, that was great. You'll never be able to accomplish anything. And this was coming from people that were close to me. And that was very disheartening. But I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to let that happen. And that's what led me to Specs Howard and being on the radio. I never thought I'd be on the radio, and I was. And then going to community college and getting on the dean's list. And my mom's like, "Are you sure that's really true?" I said, "Yes, it's me. I actually made the dean's list." "Well, why didn't you do that in high school?" I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't apply myself." And I heard that a million times. But don't listen to the negativity out there, because it's just all noise. Just listen to your inner soul and have those people surround yourself with the people that are positive and that are going to build you up and believe in you. Because we all know it's tough. I have 2 children right now, and believe me, I put all the positivity and everything I can into them, because it's not an easy world out there with social media and all the other distractions that you have. But we're here for you. OCC is here for you. It's just another opportunity to have, and more opportunities are better, and we would love to be a part of that. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it.
Good deal, Chris. Natalia, thank you so much. You guys, if you have any questions, please type them in the chat and I will pose them to Chris and Natalia. I identify with so much of what you both said, and it is, Natalia, it is never too late. It is never too late.
No.
Everyone always has an opportunity to better themselves, to improve, or just to grow and learn and explore,
Yeah.
So I applaud your and of course culinary is near and dear to my heart, because I went to OCC for culinary, and which is
So
why I
you
love
know
OCC.
what I'm talking about.
That's awesome. That's so good. I didn't know that about you. See, I learned something today. So that's awesome.
Absolutely. So, it just, the sky's the limit. Oh my God, we are still growing and evolving, and technology is steadily advancing. So the more you can learn, the more you can experience, the better you are, the better off you are. Life is short. It'll be over before you know it. And you will have accomplished nothing, if you don't take chances, if you don't put yourself out there. So again, thank you guys so very much. I don't see any questions in the chat, so I'm going to say that everyone was very satisfied with the presentation. I know I was. Chris,
Well,
I love you.
I love you. I love you too. And I love doing anything for you to get the word out there. And I saw Mark Williams said awesome. And I want to say thank you, Mark.
Yes.
You guys are awesome too. And if you need anything, please reach out. Tony's got all of my contact information. She knows where to find me. And I'll be more than happy to walk you through anything that you need to with any of the steps at OCC, or you just need someone to talk to. If you want to talk about the East Side Detroit, I'm all about talking about the East Side Detroit. So that's my home base. Will always be till the day I'm off this earth. But as Tony said, and Natalia said, I'm 53 and I'm still going to school, and I never thought in a million years that I would still be doing that. But I can't imagine not doing that either. And it's been fantastic. So thank you again for having us today. We appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you guys so much. Thank everyone that's joined us today. And we will see you next time on college and career pathways. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.